So I walk into my studio and my son is in here dropping a track with no mic. He put the mic down. This is the mic.
Oh.
Oh. Alright, what you rapping about? Making a lit track over here, huh? Hey. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Get it. Yeah.
I got the drip, too much lead. I got the move, do that, yeah. Jump out the whip, it like who that? Who that little nigga just jumped out the vault? You got your bitch and I can't get her off. I got the drip, I got the sauce. Designer my fit, been shopping that road.
What's good, y'all? What's good? I gotta change this intro. Yer! What's good, y'all, man? I already know. This is your boy, Dream Big, and we are at the airport, DFW. So you know what that means. Somebody's coming back from their trip, and I'm picking them up. Chance is knocked out in the back, but we're about to pick Bay up and see how her trip was and everything. Before we even get to that, so we're gonna see her in the next clip. But before we get to that, make sure y'all like, subscribe. Look, not what you're doing right now. I see y'all looking at this video. Y'all looking at me, you know, wearing that merch. Scroll down, hit that subscribe button. You know, that's important to me. That helps me make these videos for you guys. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. Hit the comment button. Comment down below. Let me know. Let's get it, man. Let's see what Shana talking about. Guess who's back?
Me! Guys, I had such an amazing time in Cancun. Let me put on my seatbelt. Gotta be a good role model for my Chancey back here. But yes, I had such an amazing time. We stayed in Cancun from Thursday to Monday. Most of us left Monday. I left Tuesday because of some bullshit at the airport. And I'm like about to be like my baby. My baby's always talking about his crazy airline experiences and getting on Twitter and like really getting shit handled with these people because things just crazy shit just be happening at the airport. But anywho, we stayed at the Grand Park Royal Cancun all-inclusive resort and it was amazing. I wouldn't say it was like it wasn't like 5-star, but it was like damn near like 4.5. It was amazing. It was really nice. They had so many different pools. The ocean water was beautiful and blue. We did some activities. We did paragliding and we did like a scuba diving class. We played bingo with the old people. You know how you gotta party with the old people a little bit. We did some water aerobics. And this again, it was for my cousin's bachelorette party. And so she, you know, she also did some really cool things. Like she went to the spa and got a nice Mexican massage, and she said it was lovely. We had some authentic Mexican tacos that were delicious with the authentic pico. Oh, when I say the authentic pico and the authentic guac, it was like, oh, it was so amazing.
You say pico or pico?
Pico. You know, it was so fresh, so good. And I still have some food from like Mexico. I was like, I'm taking this shit back home with me. It was really nice. Just overall a great time. We found like a hip hop spot to hang out at. We did some other bachelorette stuff that is girl code, so I will not let you all know what we did. Woo! We did some shopping. they have, surprisingly, I didn't know this, but they had a lot of similar stores like they would have here. They had like Forever 21, there was a Zara, there was like designer stores like Louis Vuitton. Like, I don't know, I think a lot of times countries like set up some of these stores kind of like how we have in US just for the tourists. So I'm not really sure if those stores are actually outside of the hotel zone, which is where we were, but they might be. But it was cool. It was a nice indoor-outdoor shopping. It kind of gave me like an outlet feel because of just a lot of the stores just being kind of like outside, but you were able to just still be out in the sun and just really, it was just amazing, guys. Like, our room was dope. Our room was so cool. We had a beautiful ocean view. So yeah, I mean, food was great. People were nice. Yo hablo poquito español, so I was able to communicate with a lot of the Hispanic people that were there, so I loved it. Yeah, it was just amazing. These twists kind of held up. Like, a couple of them were kind of falling out, but for the most part, it did its job because they don't look too crazy. I did get darker. Mama got a tan, so I hope my kids recognize me. But yeah, it was, guys, I just had the best time. That trip was dope. I had a good time. I'm a little red on my chest. So I have some like vitamin E on it right now. I just like kind of opened up the little capsules and just kind of put it on there. I got some kind of rash. I'm not really sure if I think it was starting before I left for the trip, so I'm not really sure if Cancun has anything to do with it. But guys, let me tell you what happened on my way back. Craziness. So I was due to leave Cancun on Monday, which was yesterday, and I got to the airport 2 hours before my flight left for my international flight, which is great. And as soon as I get to board, and I was just doing so much shit, guys. I was shopping, I was buying things, buying liquids and all types of stuff, and I thought I was all ready to go. Got a couple more souvenirs to take home, and then I go to my gate, and then bam, the lady's like, "You cannot board the flight." And I was like, "I can't board the flight, what?" And she was just like, "Where is your immigration pass?" I'm like, "Immigration pass?" I was like, "Here's my passport. Like, you could take this." She was just like, "We need the sheet of paper you got to the airport." I'm like, "Sheet of paper I got at the airport?" I was like, "I don't got that." And I'm thinking to myself, my argument is, why the hell would y'all let me check in? Why would y'all let me check in if I needed like some sort of paper to? Why would you let me go? Okay, so it was American Airlines, and I'm just thinking, I was like, why would you all let me go through security checkpoint without a sheet of paper that I needed to board a plane? Like, it just did not make sense. Did y'all think I was just going into the airport to like shop? Like, I was just so confused. Is the camera on me?
Yeah.
I was just so confused. So I was irritated. So I got up to board, and that's what happened. And this was 20 minutes before my flight was scheduled to take off. So then I had to be escorted out by immigration, someone with a red or rojo sweater. So I found that guy. He came over to me and was like, "I have to escort you this way, ma'am." And so he was like, "You need to pay $35 in pesos to get a new form." I'm like, my flight is about to be in 20 minutes. It's gonna be like voy a Mexico, like leaving Mexico. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I don't know what y'all got going on, but I gotta get on my flight. I was like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. He was just like, "Mom, you need a new form. It's 35 pesos. And I'm like, okay. So I try to find the ATM. The ATM is broken. By that time, it was like 150, and I'm like, great. So I find another ATM, and my bank all of a sudden stops the transaction because I had just put my card into another ATM that I guess wasn't working properly. So then I was like, okay, great. I had to call my bank, let them lift the international hold that they had on my card, and then verify it with myself. So it just took a while, and then finally I was able to get my cash out. So I got $40 out. I gave it to the immigration people. then the guy said, "Oh, sweetheart, I think you missed your flight." I'm like, yeah, no shit. Of course I was gonna miss my flight. I only had 20 minutes to get all the way back upstairs, and y'all had me code through all the way back downstairs, go back through security again, and do all this extra stuff. And then he was just like, "Oh my God, oh." He was like, let me put you on the next flight. Okay, let me tell y'all how that worked. So next flight was like at 3:30, and my previous flight was at 1:30 that I couldn't get on. So 3:30 goes, and they were like, "We can put you at standby. The flight is currently overbooked." And I'm like, "Flight is currently overbooked." Okay. So I am on standby. I'm number 2 on standby, and I know how standby works when you're like leaving a busy place, trying to get to another busy place. Like, I was just trying to be positive. Everyone who knows me knows I'm like the queen of positivity. I was like, alright, let me just walk around the airport and let me do some more shopping. Let me get some food, and I'll be able to get on my flight. Number 2 will be on that flight, standby. I waited and waited and waited, and they said, "Ma'am, we're about to close the doors. Sorry, the flight is overbooked. No standbys." And I was like, okay. She said, "We'll put you on the next flight, but ma'am, it's overbooked too." And I'm like, overbooked too? I was like, "Can y'all get me like a regular seat?" She was like, "I'm sorry, ma'am. The only thing we can do is ask for people to volunteer to give up their seat." I'm like, who's gonna volunteer to give up their seat to be stuck at the airport too, like me? Like, who would do that? You know? So no one gave up their seat, and I'm pretty sure I manifested that, because I'm just thinking, I'm like, who's gonna give up their seat? Nobody's gonna give up their seat, and no one gave up their seat. So then I'm waiting for this 5:30 flight. I'm like, cool, let me go get some more food and just relax, and then I'll be on my 5:30 flight. And then there were more people on standby, and I started seeing all the other faces of standbys that I was seeing in the previous flights that I couldn't get on. They were all with me again. I'm talking about kids and all. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and I said, "Hey," because on this flight I was actually number 1 on standby, so I kind of, I felt a little good about myself. I was like, yeah, let me get on this flight. She goes, "Ma'am, this flight is overbooked, and there's no more flights for the evening." I'm like, flights overbooked? No more flights for the evening? Alright, so you're telling me that American Airlines is not going to be leaving to go to any city, like not even Dallas, but just no other city tonight? "No, ma'am, this is our last flight. We're about to go home." She was like, "I have my back." I said, okay. So so I met this lady at the airport, and she was also like pretty much in the same situation. She was just like, "Do you know what you're gonna do? Because they kick you out of this airport. They're not gonna let you stay here overnight to like fly out in the morning." And I'm like, great. I was like, let me just go back to the resort, get a drink, spend the night, and come back to the airport. So I basically, what I had to do was I had to book another flight. I had to book a one-way to get home, and that's what I did. And then I had to stay in a resort. I tried to stay in a closer resort than the one that me and all my friends and family stayed at just previously. And so I stayed the night in this other resort. Talking about the resort, sweetie, should I get into that resort the way my room was, or should I just leave it out? I don't know.
Weather alert. Tornado watch in about 5 miles from current location.
Sorry, that was was that a tornado alert, it said? 5 miles from where we're at?
Yeah, your GPS doesn't do that.
Tornado alert?
Yeah, we're in Dallas. You don't know we have tornadoes.
We gotta get home. That thing said 5 miles from where we're at.
Man, I need a tornado.
You need a tornado.
This car. You ever seen Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, there's no place like home, and we need to get home.
Well, Dorothy eventually made it home.
I wonder where this tornado's at. I wonder if it's already, well, I guess it's a warning. So I'm gonna tell y'all about this room that I stayed in. So I told you the first resort we stayed at was the Grand Park Royal Cancun. The second resort that I stayed at was it was called the Royal Caribbean. I was like, I like the sound of that. I was like, that sounds nice. I was like, okay. So it was just like $100 for the night. It was cheap. It wasn't too bad. It was like the same amount that you would probably spend at like a, I don't know, maybe like a what? Like a Marriott or something, whatever. Depending on what city you're in, of course. So I get in my room, and it was just a totally different vibe. Like I told you, like my previous room at the other resort had like this ocean front. It was just so beautiful. I got into this place. There was mosquitoes chasing me in my room. I woke up to pee at night, and I saw a spider heading to the toilet that I was heading to. I was just over it. I was like, okay, so there's spiders, there's mosquitoes, there was just critters in the room. There was hair in the bed on the pillow, and it was on one side because I just have this weird thing where I just like flip the pillow whenever I get into my bed, and on the other side was like hair, so I had to like flip it back on the other side. I was like, this is just sick. So long story short, I just had to get out of that room. I just called I called the lobby. I told them my situation, and they said, well, you have two options. We can sweep the spider out for you, or we can just place you in another room. I'm like, I want to be in another room. I'm allergic to spiders. I want out. So they put me out into another room, and she said, I tell you what, we're going to give you ocean view. I'm like, yeah, but my vibe was already killed at that point, so it's just kind of like, okay, well, thanks for giving me this ocean view, but, you know, I wasn't happy with the way it smelled in there. And then I guess it smelled a little weird, maybe from the water, but I don't know. My baby was just like, yeah, you got the true Mexican experience this time. I mean, I don't know. I love Mexico. I love Mexicans. I love Mexico. I love the food. I love the culture. But I guess this hotel, maybe the hotel was just like older or whatever. I knew it definitely didn't look like it had been renovated in quite some time. Like even the doorknobs had rust on them. So whatever. But I don't want to knock, their hotel zone. I just know that second resort, I don't know, it's questionable. I'll definitely be writing a review about it. But Grand Park Royal, I'll definitely write a great review about you guys, because y'all were awesome. So yeah,
So if you had to rank your experience in Cancun from 1 to 10, what would you rank it?
I would say I would rank it an 8.5, and mainly the 8.5 just because of the hotel. Well, yes, the airport situation and the hotel situation. Because, like, I mean, I could have argued with them in the hotel, but at the end of the day, I'm in another country, so they're not about to keep me there. I got kids, I got a husband. I just didn't have time for it, and I was really exhausted. So, I just did whatever I had to do to get home and just kind of.
Do you feel like American Airlines gave you the best solution? So you had to come out of pocket for your new flight, or they just booked you?
Oh yeah, I had to book everything, room, flight, pay for this immigration pass. Don't forget all the charges I was charged from my bank, taking out this money from my account. So yeah, it was just a little, it was a lot for me. It was a lot, guys, especially to be by myself there. So it was a lot, but I made it back. Just landed in Dallas about 30 minutes ago. My baby picked me up. I don't even know if the camera is on here. Will it be on here? Maybe not. So yeah, I'm just happy to be back in Dallas. I was supposed to work today, so I clocked in just for a little bit because I had a meeting that I had this morning, and I just didn't want to be like, oh, I need someone to cover this meeting for me. So I just quickly, I was in the airport, and I just found a little quiet spot by the window.
Man, I'm chopping that whole part out. Man, you snitching on yourself. You better stop snitching.
Oh no, I already talked to my manager. I already told him. I told him I clocked in for a little bit.
Chop chop.
Fine, can chop it up, whatever. Yeah, guys, but Cancun is lit, man. Cancun was lit. Love it. If you're, you're turning 30, you're going for a bachelorette party, if it's like an anniversary, like if it's, fuck it, I want to get away by myself, I mean, it's a great place to visit. Like, everyone is super nice. It was super easy to get around. As soon as you get out of the airport, there's so many different taxi services like to help you get to where you need to go, and they're like really good on like helping you book back like a round trip taxi service to pick you back up when you're heading back to the airport. When you leave, it was just, everything was just really perfect. And since it was like a little zone that we stayed in, like this the hotel zone, like there's taxis everywhere. Like even when you step foot out of your hotel, like it was never a excuse me, it's never a hassle to get anywhere. And that's what I loved about it. Just like the convenience, the ease of just being able to just get from place to place. And the food was so good. Oh, y'all, the tacos, they were so delicious. I'm in Texas. I told my sweetie, I was like, we're gonna have to find like one of those authentic like Mexican restaurants, like not the chains, so like not what is it, Chuy's, and not Chipotle's, like not Chipotle, just like some authentic Mexican food where they make like the tortillas from scratch. You see them rolling the dough. Oh, that's what I want. So good, so fresh. The cilantro is so natural, so fresh, so delicious. I just love it. I just can't wait to go back.
Are you like an African Mexican?
Yeah, I guess my Spanish accent is not the best, but I'm trying. I'm trying to get you all to feel what I felt when I was there. But yeah, I did get burned a little too. Like that sun out there, like the weather was just so nice, and like the sun, it kind of like sneaks up on you and burns you. It's kind of like, yeah, I get you feeling good, but then I'm gonna bite you. Like it's, I don't know. It's, the weather was like, okay, so it was like windy, and then like the sun was shining like pretty much all day, and it starts in the morning, and then even like once the sun sets, it's still really warm, less sun, but still has like the nice spring winds. It was just perfect. One of my taxi drivers told me that in diciembre, enero, and febrero, so that's December through February, so that's like, winter season, the temperature is like 65, so it's like 75 degrees around that time, and he says to him that's like hace fría, so it's kind of cold. And so I was like, oh, okay, so it's like pretty nice weather all year round. Woo! It was nice, guys. It was nice. So that wraps up my experience in Cancun. I hope this helps someone that wants to visit one day or wants to visit either or a resort. Pick Resort A, Grand Park Royal Cancun. Don't go to Royal Caribbean. I don't think you'll be happy. I don't care how old you are, what you're celebrating for. No. It's a no for me. Like that emoji that's like cross arms. I'm holding the camera with this other arm, so I can't do it, but don't do it. No. Go to the other one. So, alright, guys.
Alright. Bye, y'all. Like I tell y'all all the time, peace, love, and if you already woke up today, you already know you got the W. Y'all, make sure y'all like and subscribe. We out.